The following episode contains discussions of drug addiction, depression, eating disorders, and vomiting. Listen at your own discretion. It is Wednesday, the 9th of October, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. It's day 3 in Life is Strange week, so we were talking about a song from episode 3 of Life is Strange. And this is a song that I actually knew before playing Life is Strange. This is the song Lua by Bright Eyes. I've talked about Bright Eyes in here before. In fact, I've talked about 2 different songs from their 2005 album, I'm Wide Awake, It's Morning, and this is no exception. I don't know if I mentioned Life is Strange when I talked about those other ones, but when I first listened to that album, there were 2 songs in particular that really stood out to me, because First Day of My Life and, what the fuck is that song called? At the Very Bottom of Everything, were the songs that introduced me to the album, but Lua and Landlocked Blues were ones that stuck out to me as songs that I wasn't shown. I just discovered them when I listened to the album, and I loved both of those songs. Lua in particular became probably my favorite on the album, and it inspired one of my favorite songs that I've ever written, although it's maybe too close to how Lua is structured for me to ever do anything with it, but I do really like how that song turned out. But yeah, I've always really liked this song, so then when it played in the game, it kind of caught me off guard. As soon as the guitar started playing, I was like, this is a perfect song to play in this game with, I'm already 3 episodes in, I kind of have the vibe of the game, I know what it's like, I know what the soundtrack is like, and I was like, yeah, this fits really well, especially because, not this song, but the song Landlocked Blues, I associated with a novel that I never finished, where a depressed character listened to this album in their bedroom, and the context this plays in the game, again, with as little spoilers as possible, is after Max and Chloe break into the school after hours, don't worry about it, they're back in Chloe's room the next morning, and Chloe puts this song on her radio, and you can just lie in bed for as long as you want to and let the whole song play if you want to, and I always do because I love this song. So let's go ahead and listen to it now and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. Hey, I just was reading the Genius page while listening to the song here, and this song came out as a single on October 26th, 2004. So it's been almost 20 years to the day since this goddamn song came out. Holy fucking shit. I mean, the game came out 10 years after the album, which is interesting. But anyway, I'm going to be saying this all week, and I say this all the time in this show. I love the vibe of this song. This song is so fucking sad, and even if you weren't paying attention to the lyrics, I think you could understand just by the way he's singing it that it's a very sad song. I mean, Conor Oberst has a very emotive voice. He sounds sad all the time, but I love how gentle it sounds. The guitar playing is so soft. It's kind of high, but not in a like belting way, more in a almost kind of falsetto way, but on a guitar. Very gentle, but kind of high. Kind of similar to Santa Monica Dream. It feels kind of intimate. Not quite in the same way, but it does. And the singing is like, not whispering, but it's very soft. And when it gets on the chorus, he's not like switching up into like chest voice. He stays in his head, I know you have a heavy heart. He has a very specific way of singing, and I really enjoy it. So, this song is about addiction. Particularly, it seems to be about someone who's been an addict for a long time, singing to someone who is falling into addiction. And it seems like maybe they're trying to persuade them to not fall into that, fall for the same mistakes that they have, and relating how bad it is kind of my read on it. So let's go through the lyrics, shall we? I know that it is freezing, but I think we have to walk. I keep waving at the taxis that keep turning their lights off. But Julie knows a party at some actor's West Side loft. Supplies are endless in the evening. By the morning, they'll be gone. When everything is lonely, I can be my own best friend. I get a coffee and the paper, have my own conversations with the sidewalk and the pigeons and my window reflection. The mask I polish in the evening, by the morning, looks like shit. I love how this song has a very particular rhythm to it. It almost feels like iambic pentameter or something. I know that it is freezing, but I think we have to walk. I keep waving at the taxis, they keep turning their lights off. It has a very like specific syllable sort of rhythm to it, which I really like how that sounds. And then it gets interrupted by the mask I polish in the evening, by the morning looks like shit. Doesn't rhyme, doesn't really fit with the flow of the song, but at the same time it does kind of work. Anyway, so it's freezing, but I think we have to walk, keep waving in the taxis, they keep turning their lights off. You can read it literally as like 2 people walking home from like a night out, maybe, and they're trying to hail a taxi, but all the taxis don't take them. You can read that, like I said, you can read it literally as people walking home, but it also just feels like society's rejection of addicts, not being willing to help them, you know? And the fact that it's freezing, it also brings to mind people who are addicts and maybe having withdrawal symptoms, or, you know, they often are shivering is a description you hear a lot with addicts, you know? But Julie knows a party at some actor's West Side loft. Supplies are endless in the evening. By the morning, they'll be gone. So they're talking about going up to some famous person's party and doing more drugs, you know? They're trying to get home. Taxis won't take them. Let's go to another place where we can do more drugs. When everything is lonely, I can be my own best friend. I get a coffee in the paper, have my own conversations with the sidewalk and the pigeons at my window reflection. So apart from enjoying that it references pigeons, because it's me, this song is very New York, isn't it? It's talking about being alone. It's talking about only having yourself for company. The sidewalk and the pigeons at my window reflection. These are the only things around me that I can talk to. I can relate. I talk to pigeons and my window reflection a lot. Maybe not the sidewalk. I sing for the sidewalk. The mask I polish in the evening, by the morning looks like shit. So he's talking about, like, you know, presenting this nice image of himself, and then in the morning, you know, having like the drug equivalent of a hangover, like being just fucked up and tired and messy and probably feeling sick, you know. And it specifically refers to it as a mask, which implies that looking like shit is his natural state, you know. And I know you have a heavy heart, I can feel it when we kiss. So many men stronger than me have thrown their backs out trying to lift it. But me, I'm not a gamble, you can count on me to split. The love I sell you in the evening by the morning won't exist. I love how it's thrown their backs out trying to lift it. I've always enjoyed the framing of, I know you have a heavy heart, I can feel it when we kiss. You know, people connecting over shared hurt, or kind of understanding each other's hurt, the empathy, the sympathy there, you know. So many men stronger than me have thrown their backs out trying to lift it, you know. Other people are trying to help you with your problems and they're stronger than me, right? But me, I'm not a gamble, you can count on me to split. He's saying I'm not unreliable in the sense that, you know, I'm not going to stay with you. I'm not worth it. I'm going to leave. The love I sell you in the evening by the morning won't exist. It's his own admission that he is not in it for the long haul. He will move on somewhere else, probably where there's more drugs, you know. I really enjoy the recurring thing at the end of each verse and chorus of something in the evening, something in the morning, right? I like songs that do that they have like this thing that changes throughout. You're looking skinny like a model with your eyes all painted black. You just keep going to the bathroom, always say you'll be right back. Well, it takes one to know one, kid. I think you got it bad. But what's so easy in the evening, by the morning such a drag. Some people have read this as them going to the bathroom to do coke, as in cocaine. But I have always assumed, and other people say this, that it's about bulimia. It's about going to the bathroom to throw up after a meal. And that makes sense. Apart from the fact that Conor Oberst himself suffered from bulimia, so it's a personal experience he can talk about. You're looking skinny like a model, right? It brings up skinniness in the line before, so one would assume that that's what it's about. It takes one to know one, kid. I know why you're making excuses to go to the bathroom. I know what you're doing in there. I think you've got it bad, the addiction, the habit, you know. But what's so easy in the evening, by the morning such a drag? You're going to regret it later. I got a flask inside my pocket. We can share it on the train. And if you promise to stay conscious, I will try and do the same. Well, we might die from medication, but we sure killed all the pain. But what was normal in the evening, by the morning seems insane. That's the key line in this song. We might die from medication, but we sure killed all the pain. Because that's what drug addiction is. I mean, it's literally an addiction to medication. That's where the word drug comes in. But like, it's people using it as an escape from bad things. The problem is that it itself causes bad things. So you might be killing the pain. That's the reason you took the drug, but it might kill you, right? And I really enjoy that lyric because it can apply to so many other things as well. It can apply to relationships. It can apply to anything that you are using to heal or distract from something that can itself hurt. I mean, the flask inside the pocket, he seems to be discouraging her from addiction, but also he's talking about drinking on the train, you know. What was normal in the evening, by the morning seems insane. I mean, again, like the contrast throughout between being high and being sober, you know, and how a sober mind knows that this is insane. And I'm not sure what the trouble was that started all of this. The reasons all have run away, but the feeling never did. It's not something I would recommend, but it is one way to live, because what is simple in the moonlight, by the morning never is. It was so simple in the moonlight, now it's so complicated. It was so simple in the moonlight, so simple in the moonlight. So Simple in the Moonlight. So, I'm not sure what the trouble was to start all of this. The trouble presumably is why he started taking drugs, the pain, right? And why he started taking the medication, right? The reason they'll have run away, but the feeling never did. He's chasing that dragon, despite the fact that he might not remember why he started taking drugs in the first place. He still wants that healing feeling, right? It's not something I would recommend, but it is one way to live. I mean, the whole thing of the song, like he's saying he wouldn't recommend addiction, but it's one way to live. It's what I do. Because what's so simple in the moonlight by the morning never is. Simple in the moonlight is so complicated, right? I just really love this song. Lua, by the way, is Portuguese for moon, related to like Luna, right? And the lyrics about Simple in the Moonlight tie into that. Yeah, I just really love this song. It's really fucking sad, and it's a really interesting examination of addiction and the human condition and people who are addicted and how they can be rejected by society, but they understand each other, you know, and equal parts wanting to stop the addiction and also continuing to feed it, you know. It's a tightrope. I don't think I have much else to say about this song. I just really, really love it. It's very simple, and it has a very simple usage in the game, and that's about it. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below, tell me what you think, tell other people about the show. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. Oh, it took me long enough. Oh, buddy. Oh, that was a burrito bowl and coffee. Aye, aye. Julie knows a party at some actor's West Side loft. Supplies are endlessly as in cocaine. My Diet Coke addiction.